Shut up, you guys, till we bring you out of the box. Hello, my name is Craig Tarwater. I'd like to welcome you to this video school of guitar production entitled How to Play Great R&B Guitar, and today we'll be at level 2. Before we get started, I would like to show you something every guitarist needs, unless you're like me or a few of my friends. This is the series of books entitled Fretboard Logic. Volume 1, which deals with the pentatonic scales in the major and minor chord shapes, in the 5 shapes they appear in the fingerboard. This is Volume 2. This deals with the diatonic scales, some of the major 7th and minor 7th and dominant chords, and as they appear in the 5 shapes on the fingerboard. And then Volume 3 here puts this all together. By the way, the Volume 2 that I was talking about deals with the diatonic major and minor scales also. Volume 3 puts it all together and is 140 some pages, whereas the other books are between 30 and 50 pages. So this is what you need if you have black holes, gray areas, places you're afraid to play, to tread on the fingerboard. It's like a rotten bridge. So get it together and get these books. Okay, let's have a tuning note for you. We'll use an A 5th string. It works real good. And a 12th fret harmonic also. Boy, that rings a long time. Okay, the song I was playing when we came in is a little R&B song. I call it R&B. It's sort of jazzy, but I believe George Benson would probably call it R&B, and I believe some R&B guys probably would too. So what we're going to do today is we're going to show you how to play this song, and we're also going to give you a thorough treatment on the chords that are used in general in the key of E, because the song's in the key of E, and every single thing you learn here can be moved up and down the fingerboard to a different key. Okay? So pay attention and watch my left hand. Alright, this is an E major 7 chord. I'm playing this with the 1st finger on the 4th string. I'm using the 3rd finger to bar across the first 3 strings. I'm at the 2nd and the 4th fret, for those of you who aren't sure what you're seeing. Okay? Now, at the same time, I have a B7 chord right here. I also have a C sharp minor 7 voiced with has 2 flatted thirds in it, 2 E notes. I also have an A major 7 played with a bar across the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. And I'm using my pinky on the 1st string because it's more comfortable for my hand than it is to use my 3rd finger. It leaves 2 fingers free to do something tricky too, like if I was to do some little lick like that. Okay, anyhow. Now, I also have a B9 chord, which I can change into a B13. And back into a 9. I also have an A major 7 right here. I also have a B11 chord right here. What that is that's an A chord with a B in the bass note. A B on the bass note string. A B on the 5th string, okay? I might also want to use an E major, which the 9th note has been added, so it's an E major add 9. Okay. Now let's zoom in for a close-up, and let's take a look at the first usable position of the E major diatonic scale. And the E major scale will work through this entire song. There's only about one real trick you need to know, and we'll show it to you in a little while. Okay, so we start on the note F sharp, we go to G sharp, A, we may also use the open A, 5th string, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A. Okay, for real good R&B sounding runs, you might want to play the scale either from any note within itself, ascending or descending. I'll give an example from the high A, descending. So we play 3 notes, and then we go back to it, to the same note we started on. So we'll go A, G sharp, F sharp, A, G sharp, F sharp, E, whoops, excuse me, G sharp, and then we'll continue on down the scale from the F sharp, E, D sharp, always back to the note we started on. So watch this example. Fingering is totally optional. Okay, so let's try a little example of just playing some leads with that. We'll get into a little bit of rhythm too. We can alternate. Okay, so pay attention to this now and watch the left hand closely. Bends. Okay, now let's check out a few of the chords. The A major 7, A major 7. Okay, we'll pause right at that chord. The chord they're playing on the backup tape is A major 7 right here. And then what this is called is, I prefer to call it a polytonal chord. To name it any other way would be probably lunacy, because essentially what it is, if you were to name it, it would be some sort of a chord that doesn't exist. It could, but let's just say it doesn't. Let's call it a B over A. That's what it would be, how it would be written on music for this by a publisher. This is how it would be properly written: B over A, or B slash diagonally A. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over the chords for the song a little bit, and we'll do it in the second position now, because we've given some lead examples, and we'll give more in this position. Okay, so we have E flat major 7, C sharp minor 7, and then we can go to F sharp minor 7 right down here, and we can add the 9th note. Kind of makes it an F minor, F sharp minor 9. Then we can do a B11 right here. That can also be called A over B, or A slash B. Then we go back to E major 7. Then the song moves to the A major 7, to the B slash A, and you can play it with the open 5th string and not finger the A right there if you prefer. Then it goes to a G sharp minor 7, and you wouldn't want to play the minor 9, the G sharp minor 9 there. You prefer to leave off the A sharp note. Then it drops down to the F sharp minor 7. Then it drops down a little further to the B11 or the A slash B. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll just pick up the song right here where it's at. Whoops, forgot about one chord. After the G sharp, it goes to the 6th chord, or the related minor, which is C sharp minor 7. Now let's go ahead and continue. Okay, we'll rewind the tape for you, and let me show you the E major scale in this position. And this is 4th position. That's the 4th fret right there. So that's your 5th fret position marker, or your A position marker. That's your G position marker. B, C is always right there. D is always there. And of course, that's the 12th fret. All right, back down here. Okay, so here's our E major scale in this position. G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, and B. All right, so we have let's try that along with the tape. Bend your string. Slide. That's two-note harmony. Don't forget about your pentatonic scale. This is called the C form. Go ahead and play. Okay, I should show you these little triads I was doing because they're very interesting, and they work because they're part of all of the chords and part of the key of E. Okay, the first one is a bar on the 4th fret, and the second finger on the 2nd string. We're using just the first 3 strings. And we can take off the E note on the 2nd string and just use the bar. This is a C sharp minor triad, so it's the upper part of a bar minor chord. This is a F sharp minor triad. I like to play it with my last 3 fingers, but it can be played with the first 3. This is an A minor triad, A major, excuse me. And of course that's the upper part of the B11 or A over B chord. There's a G sharp minor triad that can be pulled off, the 4th string can be pulled off to play a B major triad. And there's also this C sharp minor triad. Okay, so all of those triads kind of work. You can move the A up to B. Then when you get to the bridge part that goes, you can play. And then when it goes to this one, you can keep the B triad right there. And you can even use the G sharp minor triad against the C sharp. It works real good. And then you have all these two-note harmonies. Let's look at these. That's literally the first two strings, 5th to 7th fret. That's the first two strings, part of the E major triad. That's part of the A triad. Again, part of the E triad, so you could hammer and pull. Sounds country, but it doesn't when you put it in with the song. And you can take that part of the E triad and just move it up to an F sharp and back. There's the E, there's the F sharp, and these are the notes below, B and C sharp. So you also have the ability, if you can do something like this by practicing it, to play It's pretty muddy down there. Let's just check it out and see how it sounds as soon as the band goes. Okay, also, another thing you can do is with the pentatonic notes of your scale, you can use and then you mute those. So we'll change to the lead pickup. You get a sound like this. Okay, we'll go ahead and show you a close-up of the right hand, and then you can look at this. All right, now watch this. I've got to push a button, so I'll take it away for a second. I'm muting with the palm right there, right in front of the bridge. A lot of alternate picking going on here. One thing that's pertinent here is to notice that the economy of picking, there's hardly any stroking of the pick at all, it's just barely moving. One of the ways I accomplish that is under here, my pinky finger is resting on the top of the guitar, my third finger is resting on top of the pinky finger, and they're not pushing down nor are they rigidly glued together, they're just kind of floating there. And when I need to make broader strokes of the pick, the fingers go up and down too. I'll put them in view for you as best I can. They just do like that. Okay, only they're curled on their side. So you need kind of a cupped hand, and you just roll it over a little. Just rotate your wrist outward, just enough. And it's better if you can pick with the pick at a straight angle into the strings, but sometimes you'll find that your hand goes to where the pick is a little bit sideways like that. Okay, if that's the case, that's fine. It does get in and out of the strings easier. But part of the reason for the finger bridge is so that you can have control over how far the pick goes in the strings so that it doesn't fall in and scrape the guitar top, or if you're too stiff, it'll miss when you're making strokes. So economy of picking is the whole idea, and being able to switch rapidly between So a lot of times then the pick will be on its side slightly. They even make a pick that way that's called a speed pick. It's already angled for you, so if you pick from behind like this with a straight forearm, then the pick will already be angled. But most of the time this is how most people do it. So let's just go ahead and roll a little more tape and play a little more, and play with some sequences and some triads. And we'll just mix it up and go from thing to thing.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Using my fingers to pluck on the strings along with my pick gives a softer sound. Picking. I'll show you a little bit of that. That's real handy for R&B riffs. Okay, basically what we're doing is we have these notes. So we play this note, downstroke, then we upstroke everything else. works for like all kinds of arpeggios. Also, you have to be careful what you do with it. Okay, so let's look at a little bit of that while we're playing. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, what we'd like to do now is we'll teach you a little pop funk tune, and I'll give you the chords first of all. Okay, this will deal with the key of E minor, which is also the key of G major. Okay, so pay attention to my left hand. All right, there we go. The wicked left hand, right. Okay, so our first chord is an E minor 9. Then we can go to a C major 7 right here. Then we can drop down to a B7 with a sharp 9. You might know the old folk chord. Well, don't use the first string and put the pinky right there. It's also called the Jimi Hendrix chord. Okay, so we have another chord you can do instead of the C major 7. It's called a C major 9. Okay, so you can go. There isn't any real good way to get from the E minor 9 to the C major 7. Okay, let's show you these two chords. This is still a C major 7. It's an E minor triad, and we've got our first finger on the C note on the 6th string. So the 5th string is not being used, nor is the 1st string. That's a C major 7. Now here is a B7. So that's B, A, D sharp, which is the proper name of the note in the key of E. Minor, that is. And we have also a G note. Okay, so that makes that a B7 with a sharp 5th. So it'd be B7, sharp 5. Sometimes you'll see it B7 plus 5. It's a great dominant turnaround chord for R&B work. could play the E minor 9 right there if you want. It helps to mute the chords a little bit with the right hand. Just drag it. Only do it where it belongs. Okay, now we have some scale information for you, okay, to do with the key of E minor, the G major scale. You can start right here, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B or B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. You can also do it this way. F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A. You can also do it this way. A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, and C. So you get a very long scale right there as you do here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 notes. Okay, here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 notes. Okay, and it goes on up here. Also, you have B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D. Okay, let's count those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And then we go on up here to, we should finger this one with the second finger, that's the smoothest fingering. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, and E. So what you should be seeing here by now is that you're playing 2 octaves of a scale that goes from G to G. We also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 notes. But if you put the pinky down, you get 17 notes. Okay? Then we're right back to this shape of scale, which is called a G form, and we have E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 notes. Now there's another thing you can do which is called 3-note per string scales, where you go G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, sharp, G, A, B, and C. So that scale would be like this, and I believe we have 18 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 notes. So if you play the scale systematically, starting on each higher note, you'll wind up with a modal system of 3 notes per string that you can use very effectively. Okay, also on the we better tell you about the rest of this song. It goes from, and I'm using my thumb, because that's just the way I do it, because I want that A note on the top. So this is a G over A, but because I'm adding the A on top, I still like to call it an A11. That's just how I do it. If I tell a keyboard player A11, he knows what I mean. Although he'll play an even prettier sounding chord than I'm doing. So anyhow, we go from A11 or G/A, G over A, to A. Okay, so let's see how that looks with this song.
Pop funk.
Pop funk, you heard it first. You can just play the upper part of the chord too. Okay, let's try some of our scales. So at this point, you'd switch to the key of A for a second. That's the key of G again. Watch how the scales are right there. Okay, great. All right, that was very good. Now we're going to have a slow example in the key of G, and I'm going to let you see a couple of things here about the key of G chords. Some guys call these jazz chords, but that's stupid. These are chords that are indigenous to the key of G. These are chords you should all know. So if you'll just watch my left hand, I'll show you what's going on here. Okay, now this is very, very good information. This is information that is predecessor to level 3 of this type of instruction. Okay, the lowest chord we have on the fingerboard, and these are all going to be fingerboard shapes. This is an A minor chord triad played with an F sharp in the bass. This is the 7th chord of 7 in the key of G. So this is an F sharp minor 7 with a flatted 5th. The C is the flatted 5th note. So don't worry about that. It's an A triad with an F sharp in the bass. Then we have G major 7, which is in this particular voicing is a B minor triad with a G in the bass. Then we go on to, by the way, that's the first chord in the key of G, G major 7. Then we go on to A minor 7, which is a C major triad with an A in the bass. Then we go on to a B minor 7, which is a D major triad with a B in the bass. Then we go on to a C major 7, which is an E minor triad with a C in the bass. Then we go on to a plain old D7. Then we're getting up there pretty high, but we can still do a G triad with a E in the bass. So I'm using 2 fingers. This one and that one are doing nothing. They look like they're doing something, but they're not. Then way up high, if you can finger it, and believe it or not, I can, but that's almost impossible, is the F sharp minor 7 with a flatted 5th. It's like the way that the first finger's in there is like a contortion beyond belief. So you'll hear a lot of things in songs like the next song we're going to look at, and actually I don't know the chords. I can just tell you, if you know the G chords I'm showing you, you'll be okay. Okay? We should look at a couple of other things too. We do have the F sharp minor 7, flat 5, right there. And there's the C note that makes it the minor 7 flat 5. Okay? That would be a regular F sharp minor 7. Then we do have the G major 7 that I'd shown you earlier on in the video. We can also play the A minor 7 this way, the B minor 7, and again the C major 7, which we can also do here. We may also use this as a G major 7. We may also, if we have real good fingers, play an A minor 7 this way. So that's a C triad with the pinky up there on the 4th string playing the A note. One good way to do that is use these 3 fingers to play the C triad and then force the 4th finger to move up there and stay there. Then you have to grab it from out of the blue. And that's the hardest part. Once you can do that, you're on your way to chord heaven. Also, our B minor 7 is right here. That's a D triad with a B in the bass. Even this particular voicing of the C major 7, which is an E minor triad with a C in the bass, can be played right here. Here's the E minor triad. Of course, you can play the whole 5-string chord. You can even put the G in the bass, and sometimes that's real pretty if you're careful. It sounds probably pretty good if you thin out the pickup and use chorus. use your full and add 9, your full chords and add 9s if you prefer. You can also use 3-note chords, and they work real good, where you just have, out of these voicings, I'm not going to use the second string anymore. It's going to be like muted. So I have Okay, so let's try this little song, and using this chord knowledge, pay attention to the recurring theme of the chords rising and falling through the scale, cascading up and down the scale chordally, because that's a very strong foundation that you need to have if you really want to play good R&B guitar, kind of a jazz foundation. He'll be on any second.
Different lives.
There we go. Thanks, Ralph. Licks that work real well. There's all kinds of these licks, so just watch. We can even add some overdrive. Well, I certainly hope you've enjoyed that, and including all of my antics here on screen. And I invite you to look forward to level 3 after you've mastered what I've shown you today here. And we're going to play out on a pop funk deal, the one we had done midway in the tape. And I'll disappear from view, and then you can have the floor. Okay? So until next time, hasta la vista.